Welcome to Education Lifeline. This is Trishita Paul, and today we will be solving quadratic word problems in factored form. This is the first video in our three-part series on quadratic word problems, but if you haven't watched our previous videos on quadratics, a playlist will be linked in the description below, as well as on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Please check those videos out before watching this one. So our problem states, you are tossing balls into a bucket at a carnival to win a prize. The height of the ball, in feet above the ground, t seconds after tossing it, is modeled by the equation h of t equals -1/2 times t plus 1 times t minus 7. So before we get into these questions, it would be beneficial for us to draw a graph of what we are picturing in the word problem. So the y-axis here is going to be h of t in this problem. Our x-axis is t. We're going to start somewhere on this x-axis. The guy's holding the ball sometime above the ground. It's going to go land in the bucket right here. We don't know any of these values yet, but it's helpful for us to look at this graph before answering these questions. We might be asked for like the y-intercept, or maybe the zeros, the equation, or maybe even the vertex. So part A asks us, how many feet above the ground were you holding the ball as you tossed it into the air? So first of all, we can highlight this keyword here, how many feet above the ground were you holding the ball when you tossed into the air? This feet indicates that we're looking at the y-axis, so any sort of y value. Specifically, where were you holding the ball? Right as you were tossing it. So at 0 seconds, where was that ball being held? Up above the ground. That's going to be this point here, or the y-intercept. And to find the y-intercept, we plug in 0 for x, or in this case, t. So h of 0 is equal to -1/2, 0 plus 1, 0 minus 7. So 0 plus 1 is 1, and 0 minus 7 is -7. So -1/2 times 1 is -1/2, times -7 is 7/2, which equates to 3.5. And you were holding the ball 3.5 feet above the ground as you were tossing it in the air. Now our second part asks, when was the ball at its highest position in the air? So when was the ball? So that means we're looking at time, which is some value on the x-axis. And when was the ball at its highest position? And this highest is a keyword for the vertex. So we're looking for something about the vertex, but when was the ball at its highest position? So when, as it was traveling, we're looking at this point right here. And to find the x value of the vertex when given an equation in factored form is to find the midpoint of the intercepts. So here we have -1 as one of the intercepts and 7 as the other intercepts. We add these together and then divide by 2 to find the midpoint. So -1 plus 7 is 6, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the ball was at its highest position in the air when after 3 seconds of tossing it. Now, what was the ball's maximum height above the ground? So this is asking about the height and the maximum height. So we're looking at the vertex, and we're looking at the point here. So the y value of the vertex. We simply plug in the x value back into the equation to get the y value. So h of 3 is equal to -1/2 times 3 plus 1 times 3 minus 7. 3 plus 1 is 4, and 3 minus 7 is -4. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16, times negative 1/2 is 8. So the ball's maximum height above the ground was 8 feet. Now, how long does it take for the ball to reach the bucket? So we're looking, how long does it take from when you tossed it at 0 seconds to this point right here? And this is an x-intercept, how long, the time it takes. So we're going to find the two x-intercepts. So t plus 1 is equal to 0, and t minus 7 is equal to 0. So that's t is equal to negative 1, and t is equal to 6. Now keep in mind that t stands for seconds, and we're not able to have a negative second, which means that the right answer would be 6 seconds. Oh, this is supposed to be 7. T is equal to 7, because you add 7 to both sides. So the answer would be 7 seconds. Now the last question is, how high in the air was the ball 1 second after you tossed it? So that's simply asking us at one point at 1, at what height was the ball at 1 second? So we can simply plug in this 1 second, that's the x value, into the equation to get our y value. That's h of 1 is equal to negative 1/2, 1 plus 1 times 1 minus 7. And this equals 1 plus 1 is 2, and 1 minus 7 is negative 6. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. And negative 12 times negative 1/2 is 6. So the ball was 6 feet in the air 1 second after you tossed it. Now if you're looking for another practice problem with quadratic word problems in factored form, you can take a look at this problem right here, and the answer will be in the description down below. If this video was helpful, please drop a like and subscribe to Education Lifeline. Be sure to watch our next videos on quadratic word problems, and check the description below for other helpful resources. We include more tips as well as practice problems in the description of every one of our videos. Please make sure to leave any questions in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.